that one off.
Oh yeah, was that when you were at the Cape?
Yeah, we started having some wine at 11 in the morning, and I
That
I
was just
had to fire
uncalled
that one
for.
off.
He like blatantly tweets about it and denies it.
Wasn't me though.
What
It
was it?
was
Just all ha. It was just ha ha ha. You suck.
Yeah.
yeah. It was
They tweeted
Crystal.
that they lost.
Yeah,
Palace tweets the score. You have to tweet the score, so they tweeted the score.
that's so fun. Like they just tweeted like, yeah, good job today,
Yeah.
guys.
It,
Like
it was the tweet
You go,
was a
lads.
difficult opening day with the score line. I had ha 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 ha. You guys stink.
it could have been worse. It's like the Chelsea had like a friendly against some bum ass team and won like 13-0, and they had to tweet out like 8-0 and a half. Like keep it up.
Still scoring. We're still scoring.
Yeah. No, that's 13-0 is tough. I think it was some bum ass team.
It happens. I mean,
Hey.
we're gonna shout out huge shit pumpings all year long. You're the shit pump guy. You're gonna find them. And
Yeah. Paul wanted
It's just
who do you want? You wanted Baggies on shit pump or Baggies shit pumping alert.
I do want Baggy shit pumping. 4-0, I think we've alerted before.
That's what Baggies do.
That's-
With
yeah.
4-0, it's like it's got to be like early second half. Like they can rattle off 6.
Yeah, that's like if you had a shit pumping screen, like with all the games going, that's when at 4 they're on alert.
We should do that. We should have a shit pump meter.
We should have
it. Yeah.
NFL Red Zone, but for shit bumps.
Yeah.
Just a live meter.
This game is entering the threshold.
It's just like shit pump alert. Your whole screen goes like brown for poop.
shaking. It would just be we get a picture of one guy's head and just like shaking around. It's like, oh,
I
man.
would love that.
Yeah,
Everyone would start watching it.
it's in the cards. But
Yeah.
but we're live.
I don't
And,
know. Can you guys hear my TV in the background?
Nope, you're good.
All right, 1 second.
Paul is going to check his TV, but we are live. Welcome back to the Tutto Posto podcast. And today we got Serie A predictions on the mind. But before we get into that, we know Paul's going to go off. We know Paul probably has some hot takes on who's winning the league and all that. But, I mean, we all do. We all got some shock teams, placement in the table this year. So we'll get into that. But before we get into that, we got the UEFA Player of the Year nominees are out.
Not the Ballon d'Or.
Not the Ballon d'Or. This is just UEFA. I think Europa, Champions League, and Euros.
Euros.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the Euros and just UEFA. But the players are KDB, Jorginho, and Conte. So before we get into the coaches, let's debate this one. In my opinion, KDB does not deserve it at all. I'd say it's between Jorginho and Conte, no bias at all. And I'd give it to Jorginho hands down. 3 trophies from him this year, the Champions League, Euro trophy, and Super Cup most recently. Conte, of course, won Super Cup and Champions League with Chelsea as well, but I mean, his knock is the national team, in my opinion. And KDB, you dominated for City, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, player-wise, well, like everyone thinks De Bruyne, and he probably is still the best midfielder. He didn't even start for City. Can you hear me? Or we have
I don't know.
technical difficulties? Paul, can you hear me over there?
I got you. You broke up a little bit. We're good.
Okay. How about now?
Still good.
Okay, still good. Yeah, I don't think he even started for Man City, so they're kind of taking it easy. He's still like not milking, but he's still a bit injured, I guess. But if you're comparing just Conte and Jorginho, different players. I mean, similar position, but different players, how they play, same squad, same team. So, as far as like statistics, they're both not scorers. So, if you're going based off trophies and how they've done overall on their teams, it's got to be Jorginho. That's just, I mean, he won with the national team, won with his league team. Chelsea's doing that. They're probably the hottest team in Europe still. So yeah, that'd be my guess. I'd have to agree with that.
I think I go Jorginho too, and I literally was looking at this and I was like, am I just being biased? But I think he just gets it by default, to be honest, because I think Conte did well. I think De Bruyne is obviously great, but didn't do enough. I don't know. I think it falls onto him because, I don't know, by default.
Yeah, Yeah, I think it could be one of those things though that all the hardo or aggressive people will be like, Kevin De Bruyne is clearly the best player. It's like it's a comparison of I don't know someone that just statistically or I is just clearly better, but Jorginho just had a better success overall. I don't know. They're like, oh, it's like and like the MVP in the NBA, they always like argue, oh, it should be MVP, most valuable player to their team, and their team has success, or it's just the guy that racks up stats. So, I mean,
Yeah, KDB's the stat guy.
yeah, exactly. I mean, Man City did win the league, like clearly, but it's trophies and just success overall. You got to give it to the guy.
Yeah, I mean, and the kicker for the Ballon d'Or usually is trophies. So, I mean, I think Jorginho definitely deserves it.
You know what I'm just realizing for the first time on a quick tangent? That N'Golo Kante has N apostrophe Golo as his first name. Is that short for something?
No, I'm sure he has a bunch of middle names or some last names that we don't know about. These players always do. But it's, I mean,
That's
it's a good name.
wild. I've never looked at his name like that before, and I'm in awe. That's the last comment I wanted to make on this. I apologize.
You just call him Conte?
It's a Kante N'Golo. I've never heard the first name N'Golo.
Yeah, I mean, no one just calls him N'Golo. It's either Conte or N'Golo Conte.
I don't know, man. That's just
the names always creep. They give me the heebie-jeebies sometimes. Anyway,
N'Golo. That's kind of a fire name.
Prosper doesn't belong in a name.
And it's definitely not a French name. I mean, most of these players are from other countries.
I don't know. I've never seen it written out like that. So it baffled me when I saw that first name. So, all right, no, I'm with it. I'm with it. I'm hip. I'm cool.
Yeah, yeah, you got it. Good. Yeah, you got it. But there's also the coaches. It definitely right in Paul's wheelhouse. We got Pep, Thomas Tuchel, and Mancini. Again, I do not think Pep deserves this. Same as KDB. Yes, he won the league, but I mean, me and Steve were talking about it right before the podcast. City, while they did have a rough start to the last season and ended up coming back to win it, they did not win it in the same fashion they won it in previous years. And I mean, their point total was okay. I think other teams really just gave it up to them and didn't really go off and give them any competition. So yeah, it was a good comeback season from Pep, but that's about it. And also, you spend $1 billion on your whole team, so screw you. Thomas Tuchel, good season. Obviously won Champions League and Super Cup recently. He came in mid-season, transformed this team, and did a great job. Obviously, definitely a contender here. And then Mancini, who won the Euros on a great unbeaten run with Italy and got it done this summer. But I'm going to lean Tuchel. I think Steve mentioned it before as well, but I'm going to lean Tuchel here. Chelsea bias is coming out for this one, and I think he deserves it.
I think I think he's gonna get it, but I don't know. I don't know how you can't give this one to Mancini again. Just like of the pure amazement that Italy actually won. I think it's more unfathomable of Italy winning Euro 2020 than Chelsea winning the Champions League. Is that fair to say? Especially given
That's fair. Because
especially given
Chelsea ended their Premier League season pretty well, and they were doing well just throughout Champions League. But yeah, a lot of people were writing Italy off for sure, even though coming into it, like in qualifiers, they were on the crazy unbeaten run. So I don't know why people were really overlooking them. In hindsight, it's hilarious now.
absolutely.
But yeah, I think I agree with Paul that I think they're gonna give it to Tuchel, and I did say I also think Tuchel is deserving because of what he just. I mean, Chelsea was a good squad. They were rated highly coming into the year, and whatever happened, they didn't mesh right off the bat with Lampard, and kind of those type of things could turn south. You could have a whole city against you at that point. So for him to come in, kind of bandage it up, plus it's not even a bandage job. You got him in the Champions League in top four against strong top four in Leicester. Also just missing out, kind of choking at the end. And well, actually, Chelsea came in third, right? It was Liverpool four at the end. Not
It may have been for Chelsea because
Yeah.
Liverpool, I think, won the last game.
Yeah, whatever it was. Still, he did a great job. So I think he's gonna for what he did in the league and winning the Champions League against Man City, who was probably the favorites throughout the whole thing. Kind of goes hand in hand. They kind of Tuchel, Chelsea, a little bit of an underdog, beat City, Mancini, definitely an underdog against England. So I just think I will. As much as we wanted Italy, I mean Italy, it was amazing, and they did a great job with the squad they had. Want Mancini to win it, but I think Tuchel just overall, just because he had more to work with in games wise, they'll probably get it. But you can't ignore the fact of what Mancini did with that team against the heavily favored It's Coming Home England.
And after all that being said, Pep Guardiola will win and KDB will win.
No,
Absolutely.
Pep doesn't. It's ridiculous. If you look at his of what teams he's managed in the past,
The best teams in the world.
what is a good man? What consists of a good manager? You can. I mean, I'm not saying I can go out there and manage a squad, but you could have literally any coach that has some sort of experience and toss him in Man City, and he'll do a job.
Any coach that goes to a team like Bayern ends up winning the league.
Yeah,
Pep didn't really do anything crazy at Bayern. He won, but did he get a Champions League there? I don't know. I forget.
I don't know. He's been at Barcelona.
Yeah, it's like that team is already favored to win. Why is bringing in a good manager going to change that?
I know people are going to get big triggered because they think Pep is this amazing manager, but I just I don't know. Obviously, it's if he's already at this top level, he's not going to drop down or challenge himself because he's considered one of the best in the world.
Yeah.
But I just don't see it. Just you can go, he just goes the best team, brings in a million players and wins.
I guess it's his style too, but
yeah, and I guess a manager isn't the one physically playing, so I guess they're the motivator. But if you have that good of a squad, how hard is it?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see
That's
what happens.
That's my Pep rant. I think I do it once a year. It's so annoying.
Anytime we mention City
and Pep is just the same thing that they just buy everyone and cheating bastards.
Now, I'll say after that Pep rant, I was in a world of my own. I won't lie. I hope Thomas Tuchel wins. Off the base of the fact that means the Baggies beat the coach of the year 5-2. His first loss as Chelsea manager, may I add.
I think
that's what I was looking up while you were saying you're correct.
And I think if you look back at the Instagram page at the Tuttoposto, I posted a manager of the month post with Tuchel there. It was all Chelsea, blah blah blah. Tuchel won, and then I think either the following day or week, West Brom beat them to end the unbeaten run, and I put a picture of Big Sam over it because Big Sam was still coach. So yeah. You're right. I mean,
and I think I predicted that too. If we check back the pod, I think I predicted that win.
It's probably gone, deleted by now.
Paul love to toss in those Baggies value bets. He loves it there in the Premier League because he can just toss those out.
Soon thereafter, did soon-to-be manager of the year, the next game in the league, he played Crystal Palace and smacked them 4-1. So Baggies beat them 5-2, and then Chelsea played Crystal Palace and smacked them 4-1.
It was a good get-right game.
I don't think ever.
No, you definitely have.
I don't know.
I think you have. Maybe not last year, but the year before. Or year before
we don't do well against Chelsea. I'll say that. Always beat the Baggies, though. Always beat the Baggies.
No, you don't. Baggies took 4 points from Chelsea last year. They blew a 3-0 lead.
The Baggies.
They blew a 3-0 lead and then beat them 5-2.
Oh yeah, they did blow a 3-0 lead.
Versus the European champions.
That was super early in the season too.
I'll never forget it.
But I guess riding off of City and all the City talk, there is the new Puma kits that have been released.
Oh boy!
And City is included in this Puma kit gang, along with AC Milan and a few others. But I mean, the consensus is that they're garbage. We saw a few of them over the summer on the Euro kits. I think Switzerland and Italy notably. But yeah, these are just shirts. And they're trying to pass them off as shirt kits. I don't know if they're trying to be different or just lazy. I really don't know what's going on here.
These are hot garbage. I as jerseys. That's also the hot garbage as jerseys. As shirts, I would probably wear these shirts. Like I'd wear the AC Milan shirt, but for $150, I would
Yep.
not buy this jersey. Uh, I don't know. I think the idea was there. Just like the execution of it was just absolutely horrible. The Marseille one's not horrible either, but like I actually saw a video today of I think it was I have Fenerbahce. They scored a goal and they went to kiss the Puma kid and like the badge,
There's
and
no badge.
there isn't one there, and he just was kissing the Puma.
So they just wait. They just forgot to put the. There's not.
It's
None
just
of these have badges on them.
What?
Yeah, that's like all of them. They just have Puma right in the middle, and then team name, sponsor.
They don't have their own badge.
No kit badge. Yeah,
What? What?
it just says like their team name,
People must be
like
pissed.
AC Milan.
That's bad.
It's weird. It's like it's not like this where it's badge like normal sponsor. It's all like vertical.
Great shirts, bad jerseys.
Yeah, it's not worth $90 or
Jeez.
whatever.
That's ugly.
And that's the problem, which really is like fan wise, like why would you buy that?
But
But people will buy it.
I think what is it? No bad news is good news. Whatever that saying is, I just butchered right there.
That's know what these shirts. They're good. Future burning shirts. Like we get real angry. Like some their team loses.
I don't really care about this one.
Yeah, you need. I don't know. If you're really passionate, you gotta have that like memorabilia that you're like, hey, if my team really goes, and it's a dumpster fire. I need something to burn.
This is the
Yeah,
one.
like if
they'll
this
buy
was,
that shirt and be like, I can burn this. I don't have to burn my like vintage jersey that I bought 5 years ago. I can buy this Puma shirt and then burn it if stuff goes south.
I love that take, Steve. I'm not gonna lie. If this was a Spurs jersey and this had Harry Kane on the back and he goes to City, great
Exactly,
jersey.
exactly. It's a great jersey that you could possibly burn in the future if it
Point-
goes south.
Planning ahead for a bad team to just crash.
You never know.
just to
It,
be
it,
ready.
it happens it happens every year to every team. You have that one point and you're like, I think I need to burn something.
Absolutely. And you got to find the snake. You got to think like, oh, I think like I don't know, like Leao's gonna be the snake from Milan.
Oh, you're getting a person too. I
Yeah.
think keep it into it. That's really thinking ahead. You're like,
You could Sharpie in a name on the back even
true,
Yeah.
just for the effect.
I love that.
when you're burning it.
Oh man.
But yeah, I guess that's it for news, and we can get into the Serie A table predictions. Would you want to go first or last, Paul? I don't think middle is your
That doesn't do him
for you.
justice.
Yeah.
I'll
I think
free
Paul
flow
goes
it.
last. I can go first because mine are gonna be funny anyway.
Okay.
Not funny. I have some knowledge, but Paul's are probably. I mean, unless you want to go mine funny, and then Paul.
I can go.
Okay, you'll go first, and then mine, and then Paul he'll correct mine, and then agree with yours.
Yeah. So we'll
You
do
could-
this. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, so we'll do the same we did for the Premier League. We'll go through like our top 6, who's making the Champions League, who's making Europa League, and then we'll pick our relegation guys. And if you have any shock teams doing well this year or slipping up, mention them as well. But I'll start off 1 to 4, and probably not popular since this is a anti-Juve podcast, but I got Juve coming back this year. They added Locatelli. They haven't done a ton, but they added Locatelli, and their offense looks good this year. Dybala, I think, recently was given the captain's armband, and I mean, while that's not anything huge, that could be a sign that they're really going to trust him this year. And Chiesa coming off an unbelievable Euros, and Ronaldo is Ronaldo. I think he's still capable of scoring 20-plus goals with his hands tied behind his back. And yeah, I like Juve this year. And the reigning champs Inter just slipped up in my opinion. I have them second. They haven't. I mean, losing Lukaku's huge. Losing Hakimi isn't great, but they got a great replacement in Dumfries, and Dzeko came in as a replacement for Lukaku. Not obviously a like for like, but he can get a job done. And Lautaro is still there and looking good. Brought in Chanalongu, and he's a great addition. Did lose Eriksson, but I still think they're a good team and, can get second. I just don't think they're going to win it. Third, I have Atalanta. We were talking about them a little earlier. and brought in Musso, huge step up in goalie, in my opinion. Demaril for replacing Romero. And yeah, just they're constantly on the rise and looking good. I wish they could win the league, but I just don't have them doing it this year, coming in third. And fourth is Roma. I'd say this is a bit of a shock. Been okay the past few years, but never really taken that huge step up. I think Tammy Abraham, if he does well, and I think he can, I think he could score 20 goals if he, plays the games and really strives under Mourinho. Kind of a reuniting there with Mourinho. They've been familiar from the Premier League, and he's promising, very young. And yeah, I like the Roma team this year. I think Mourinho just alone could do some damage. That's my top four.
Do you want me to go into my top four?
Yeah.
Okay. I have three of the four same top four that you have, so I'm pretty happy with that. But my number one is going to draw some eyes. I'm so glad Beef is not on this podcast.
True.
Because he would just be ranting the whole time as soon as I open my mouth about this. So, and then I actually put them as my number one. And in turn, once we get to relegation, I have a funny 20 just to spite Beef. But I'm glad he's not here because we would not hear the end of this. He has some irrational hate for this team. I still don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why. He calls them frauds.
Literally, I think it's just one of those things. He said it one day and he got too deep with it, so he had to stick with it.
Yep.
He's like, so it's AC Milan. I have them at the top. They were at the top for a real long time last year, and we kind of saw it happening where they're kind of tumbling down a little bit. We were saying, oh, they're a year or two away. They obviously lost Donnarumma, huge loss for them, but we were going over their squad, just saying who'd they retain, who'd they get. Just recently signed Florenzi on the right, retaining Hernandez on the left. Their center backs are good. Tamore, I don't know the guy's name. Chiar, is that it?
Romagnoli and Simone Chiar, I think his name is.
So solid in the back. Tonali, Paul's guy with his stash, running the midfield.
Your boy Giroud.
Yeah, I mean they have the veterans up top, Giroud and Ibra. Rebic will probably play a wing. Paul's guy, Salamakir, is around and doing something.
That guy.
Salamakers or whatever his name is.
But they got a good squad. They retained a lot of guys from last year and made a solid push for what they did. Definitely overplayed. And the league, Inter, as you said, took a little step back, selling off their guys that needed to retained a lot of guys, but also brought in some guys that probably stepped down for what they had last year. Obviously, Conte's not there. So I think Milan, since they finished a little bit lower, just the way my brain works is that Inter got worse, Milan stayed, so I give them the edge. That being said, I think Juve got a little better. Have not young, old veterans in the back. As Paul likes to say, Bonucci or Chiellini will give them like 8 to 10 or however many games.
Yeah.
They'll be injured half the year playing when they need to.
They'll be healthy for like the Inter game and like the Napoli game and like the Milan. Don't you worry.
And then, I mean, Chiesa just really showed how world class of a player he was. So I think they definitely need to touch up their midfield a little more. I don't know who they're linked to. You guys probably know better than I am, but just their midfield seemed to be lacking last year.
Oh, Locatelli confirmed.
Yeah. Right. But they were playing like McKinney on the right, left. They don't really. He's still there. He's a great piece for them. Aaron Ramsey's a bum. He's probably going to some non-league team.
I'll say Rabiot looked okay towards the end of the season.
Oh yeah, Rabiot. I think they still have Artur. A bunch of older guys, better season. So maybe they'll start to gel, get another season on their belt. So I have Juve at 2. Usually I have them winning just because it's funny, but the streak's over, so it's no longer funny. So 3, Inter. They're doing a great job of whatever financial trouble they're in of just selling and replacing with adequate guys that are good enough to do a job. Like Dzeko and you mentioned Dumfries are 2 good replacements for way less money if you looked at it. So I think they're doing a really good job rebuilding, and it just probably, they won the league last year. They have Champions League to worry about. Didn't get out of the group stages last year, so maybe they'll try and look at that. But overall solid. Probably it's gonna be a dogfight at the top. So I mean, I think they just fall at 3. Definitely get top 4. And then 4, I mean, I didn't even look at your 4. I just happened to put Roma too. I think it's a Mourinho comeback, kill everyone tour. Everyone thought it was him at Tottenham, but I think that just added to the madness for him. He went to Tottenham, and he was doing pretty well, and they just kind of sacked him before a cup final, and then he's just like, "Fuck this! I'm still one of the top managers. Like, I'm gonna go to Roma. They're gonna give me a layout. I'm gonna get some of my guys that I want. Play my style I want. Not these. I was gonna say something mean about Tottenham, but not the way that their owners want. They don't give them any guys. Don't like not much to work with, I guess. Um, so I think Roma sneaks into that top 4 just because of they do have a solid squad. A lot of Paul's guys, Pellegrini and
Zaniolo.
Zaniolo, of course. And they're bringing back a lot of key pieces. So I think they have a good chance at getting top 4. All right, let's hear the correct
All
top.
right, did you guys have your fun?
Yep.
Everybody had their fun. All right, I'll tell you the real list. At number 1, I'm gonna riff this whole thing right off the top of my head. See how much I can do without looking it up. I'm gonna go. I think Steve was right. Atalanta. I think Gasparini is by far
Steve said Milan, just to correct
at
you.
1.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you went 4-1. Oh, that was horrible. That was
Yeah.
horrible.
That's
Oh
what
my
I'm like,
God,
that's
I'm
what
so
I
sorry. I
There's
thought
no-
you said 1. I thought you were going 1-4.
No,
Sorry.
I did go 1-4.
I misspoke then.
He went Milan, Juve, Inter, Roma.
Wow. Then where was I thinking?
That would if you were listening, your brain worked like that.
No, I was.
that-
My brain was bouncing. I apologize.
That means
All
I
right,
would
so
have
at 1,
Roma.
I'm going to go Atalanta. I think that Gasparini is the best manager.
Yeah.
Though they turned over some of the squad, they do that every single year. That's just what they do. If they can hold on to Zapata and Muriel and stay healthy, I think this unit, this team, has been together for so long that they can push for something. With the additions of Lovato and Demiral in the back, it's basically Romero 2.0, and they upgraded their goalkeeper Musso. Gasparini is the best, and I think that nobody could beat him. So also people forget they have Pessina in the middle as well as Darun. So that they have a solid 11. Maybe not as deep as of a bench, but if they can stay healthy, I really think that they can push for that one spot. At 2, I'll go Juve, only based off the fact that Allegri's back, and I think that Allegri brings like such a, I don't know, just like stability to the club. They sacked him because they didn't win the Champions League, and they said it was end to like a cycle. But since they sacked him under Sarri and Pirlo, the club has just been absolutely bananas. Like they've had zero stability since both of their sackings. Financially, they're a mess. That Locatelli deal is a 2-year loan with obligation to buy after the second year for like 35 million. So it's like they're mix and match in their whole club. I do think that Allegri will get them to second place. And also a little tidbit: watch out for Kai George. You guys hear about him? 19-year-old Brazilian that they just got.
Yeah, I saw that.
Really, really good. If I'm going too fast, slow me down. At 3, I'll go AC Milan. I think that their team's awesome. But I do think that bald-headed coach of theirs is a fraud. I don't think he's good. I think he's just a big fat fraud. Like his name. Yoli. Big fat fraud. They fell in love with a caretaker.
Just a big fat fraud.
They fell in love with a caretaker manager. That's my 2 cents, and it'll come back to bite them. Their second half of their season last year was hot garbage. When Ibra's out, they can't. I don't know. They can't cope without Ibrahimovic, and he has like old woman bones. They break every 3 seconds. He's like that guy from SpongeBob when all of his arms are broken and stuff when they're buying chocolate.
Zlatan went to dance for like a month.
Yeah, like
That's
an
a
idiot.
festival.
Like he brings a mentality back to Milan. Don't get me wrong, but I think Pioli is just. I think he rides off the Ibrahimovic coattails, and they're doing the same thing they did last year, where they brought in Mandzukic to like an old striker to come in, what they did with my beast best friend there. Why am I blanking? Giroux. But they did confirm Diaz. They did confirm Tonali, and Tomori's confirmed. They just brought back a lot. They're looking at Pietro Pellegrini, young, 22-year-old Monaco Italian. Love that guy on FIFA Manager mode per Fab today. So I like what they got. At 4, biases aside, I'm gonna go Napoli, and the haters are gonna be furious.
Yeah,
The reason is, I am fully convinced that Luciano Spalletti gets the best out of his strikers. I'm not kidding. And you guys will say, oh, they've brought in nobody. Oh my God, the blah, 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 blah. They don't need to bring anybody. They have Koulibaly at the back. Malinas does a solid job. Fabian Ruiz, Zelensky, Mertens, all of them great. If they can keep hold of Insigne another year, between him, Lozano, and Osimhen, that attack will kill a lot of defenses. I really do believe that. I think they can squeak out the 4th spot. Also would like them to win the Europa League. So either one, to win their Europa League or squeak into 4th. But I do think they get 4th position and make it back to the Champions League. And I have Inter at 5 because I think the overall aura around the club is just horrible. I just think everyone's sad. So
I think that's a great point because they literally just like won the league and like, oh, we kind of have to get rid of
it's an overhaul.
everyone. At one point, they're like, yeah, everyone's up for sale, and then players don't know if they're staying or going, and like, I don't know. I think they'll definitely start. They will probably start slow, just bringing in new guys. Guys might still be going out. You don't really know. No one really knows what's going on.
I think obviously it's a complete overhaul of the team, but now they're in the positive. I think they made up all the financial losses. So I mean that should be done with.
Quick. Barca's got to learn a thing or two.
Should be done with. And maybe they might buy another guy. You don't know. But I think their defense is still fantastic. Why I had them up there. Just losing Hakimi isn't huge. And Dumfries, like I said, I think is very good. Yeah, maybe midfield still Barella. Brought in Çalhanoğlu. Brozovic still there. I think just offensively they might have to figure some things out, but that could be fixed.
Yeah.
They're banking big on Lautaro for sure.
Yeah.
I guess under Inzaghi, I don't know. Immobile was kind of like Lautaro a little bit, Correa especially. So he does have that. He can't play like that, but
yeah, I guess it depends what like formation, how they want to go forward with it. Because Inter had with Conte, they had a very specific plan that they were doing, very specific formation, and it worked. So it's just a whole turnaround. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about how Inzaghi plays or what formation they play, how style. So it's
same
just,
thing. He's basically Conte, but just
okay. So I guess that's okay. That should be a good transition then if he plays similar.
But I just don't like the whole like I don't know spiel or like aura around the club.
It's a loser's mentality. They won and they're like, oh, we're gonna take a. I mean, I guess they had to.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'd say this can't be on the players, can't be on the coach. It's
like
all
Conte walking out and just being like, I'm out of here.
It's all on the owners. They were just in a bad
Absolutely. Spot. But I'd argue that the players aren't robots, and they're just like, well, our best striker got sold and our best winger just got sold. Like, definitely I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah.
Paul, absolutely.
I will say I had Napoli. I was deciding between 4 and 5. I've always been a fan of Napoli, and they've retained a lot of guys.
Absolutely.
They have Mario Pui still there doing his thing, and I think they just need like 1 or 2 like good signings to just be a little. Was Bakayoko on Milan or was he on
transfer window is not done?
Okay.
He was a loan to Napoli, and I think he's rumored to be loaned back.
I saw him linked to Milan too.
Milan, yeah. They I think that's like the big breaking news today. Actually, is the Milan wants him.
Right. So it's like it just seemed like a step behind in transfers, but what they lack in transfers, they have in just experience in guys being there, and it seems like Spalletti, like Paul said, gets the most out of his guys. An experienced squad like that probably be well run. A lot of mistakes. Experienced guys in the back. They still have Ospina, or is he injured? Or
I think they gave it to Meret. I think Meret's going to be the number 1 guy, but
still young, but he's shown good. From what Paul has let us know, he's shown good flashes. So if he's the guy, hopefully he can hold it down. And then Osimhen, healthy, 100%.
If he's healthy this season, I guarantee you
Yeah,
fourth
that
place.
was
That
it was
guy's
disappointing that he had a half season or whatever injured season last year because he was supposed to be their go-to guy. They still got Moose up there, so right.
He should only touch the field if we're playing
So wait,
the Copa Italia.
was it Moose on Spal?
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Patania.
Oh, I thought.
For those that don't know, Patania is Moose.
Okay. Oh, Patania.
Yeah.
I thought for some reason I thought Spalletti coached Spal just because
No.
so I thought there was a reunion there, but it's just us saying Spal.
Yep.
So
I
but,
wish you did.
I wanted to. I could see like they're 1 through. I mean, in my list, I didn't even have Atalanta, which easily could make. I mean, should make top 4 too.
Yeah.
So I think 1 through 6. I think Lazio is just a little bit step behind the top 6. I mean, you have them 7. I've been looking over. I don't know if Paul has them, but I think they're just a step behind. And sorry, I think he's comfortable there. He can do what he wants. He can smoke his cigs on the side.
Yep.
Just give him what he wants and let him coach some games. Maybe surprise a couple games, but maybe coast.
Yeah, Lazio will do well, and I do have them 7 just because I think the top half of the table, similar to Premier League, is just stacked with a bunch of good teams. Unfortunately, that's why Napoli slips down a little bit for me. I have them at 6. I just don't see the depth there. They haven't brought in too many players. Yes, the defense is good, but I mean, same as last year. So we'll see what happens there. Zielinski entered some good form towards the end of the year. Fabian Ruiz kind of been up and down. I think Bakayoko would be a good add. But I think like while other teams have been a little bit more transparent with their transfers and financial situations, I think Napoli is in a weird spot. I just feel like they're not saying it because their owner's a little weird. De Laurentiis, just he's an absolute character. So yeah, I think they're in a tough spot, and I just don't think they can buy anyone right now. So that's why they've been a little bit quiet. So I have them at 6, and I have Milan at 5. Again, strong team, like Steve said. Steve got them winning, but someone's got to be in 5th place on my list, and it happens to be Milan. We said it all. Zlatan, yeah, I don't think he's going to play as much this year, but he does bring a certain mentality to the team, and I think he could help Giroud do even better and fill his own role. So, I mean, those guys are going to be interchangeable in my mind. They still got Leao and Rebic, who could play striker or winger. And, yeah, just a solid team. I think Kesse's hurt right now, but he'll be back. Brought in Florenzi. Unfortunately, they fall to 5th for me because I think just the top half of the table is very strong.
All great takes. I would like to say that I think Naples is still under like they can't talk to the media. They started that when they went through a pretty rocky road last year, and I don't think like any players talk to the media anymore, or like only De Laurentiis can talk to the media now.
Jeez.
I'm pretty like they did because remember, I don't know if you remember 2 years ago under Ancelotti when they had it like everything went to shit, and they went into a retreat.
Yeah.
And they during the retreat you couldn't talk to any media. And then once they came out of the retreat, it was like that big mutiny thing. They sacked Ancelotti, blah, blah, yada, yada, yada. And it was happening again last season. So 2 seasons in a row, they just had no more media. So I don't know if they're allowing players to talk to the media at all.
I don't mind that.
Yeah, it's not a bad move.
Aside from like I guess now for Europe, Europa, they require you a player and a manager, right? Don't they? To talk to the media. I think outside of that, they're not allowing it. So I think that's hilarious.
And then last on Napoli, we were questioning whether this team was gonna put out a new jersey or not, or just keep the same ones as last year. But at the last second, right before the game start this weekend, they put out I'd say very, very good jersey, designed by Giorgio Armani. I think EA7 is the logo on the kit, which is a part of Giorgio Armani. And they have the white and gold ones, which stand out. Those look nice.
White and gold. I gotta check those out.
Yeah.
The white and gold ones. What I like about those is that you can wear them around. Like they're very good casual wear. They seem like.
Yeah.
I might get a white and gold one.
True.
If
The
I
Napoli
did.
one. This one's
Yeah.
very loud.
I got it on right now.
It's loud. It's like
I do have the kit. I just unfortunately have them in 5th.
That's okay. I think it's a toss-up, so it's gonna be a good. I think it's. I don't know if we're just comparing EPL and Serie A, just watchability. I think they're both gonna. I think the 1 through 6 or 7 for Serie A is gonna be a dogfight. Like people getting into Champions League is gonna be tough. Serie A, I mean EPL, it's kind of like you kind of know what to expect with. You got top four. Top four is gonna be like who's gonna win it might be more contentious there, but you get a strong top four. So
I do genuinely believe that last year it was like Inter, Juve, maybe Napoli. Nobody really saw Milan last year. This year, I believe that there's at least 5 solid teams that you could make a case to strongly win the Scudetto. I believe that. I do believe that from Juve, Inter, AC Milan, and Atalanta, you have at least 4 just absolute big teams. And then you can even make a case for Roma. You can make a case for Napoli. And maybe you could make a case for Lazio. Maybe. So you probably have 6 definite cases. So I think for parity wise, this league is wide open. I didn't know who to pick going into this. I think it's wide open.
I mean, we all had different winners, so
Yeah.
that just shows.
And I mean, besides all those teams being strong, every single one of those managers is going to be something to watch this season. So just look forward to that.
Mourinho versus Sarri.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to say.
Like that's good. That's gonna be a show.
I think that's gonna be the whole. You should buy the Paramount Plus package just to watch that for the whole year. Just buy the whole year just to watch that game. And lucky for me, it's the day before my birthday. Roma Lazio. That's September 26th. Damn right, I'll be glued to the TV. That is going to be must-watch TV. Absolutely.
And you'll have to pay attention to like pregame because the fans will be going nuts. Just absolutely,
it's gonna
craziness,
be
craziness in Rome.
First derby back. Absolutely.
And there might be fans.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So we'll see. But before I get into my relegation teams, I guess I'll say I have one, I'd say, shock to my table. Nothing really else stands out to me, but this one does. I have Venezia at 8th place.
Oh my goodness, that's I love it. But
the list you look up, the predictions, the chances, the percentages, has them in relegation.
Yeah.
So that's just for you to know, anyone listening, this team is not predicted to do well. I have them in 8th. I just love this team. They brought in a bunch of Americans. Their kits are unbelievable. I will say they released a 3rd kit recently, and it's not great. But their home kits are fantastic.
I liked all of them. I thought all of them were awesome.
Well, they came in with like a blue one with the green, orange, and black stripes on it. Kind of looks good, just to me. But
the home and away ones definitely hit.
The black ones are fantastic. Love them.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why they're an 8th for me. But I mean, I haven't seen this team play much. But a newly promoted team, it always seems one does well, and I hope it's Venezia this year. That's really all I got to say. Can't wait to watch this team.
I'll add to that it's an American owner, I believe, and such an ambitious project too. Like they bring in fun, like talented players. They don't bring in like I don't know, boring or like don't really have much of a thing. They want to take Venezia to the top, and I absolutely love that. Bringing in Tessman from FC Dallas, Gianluca Busso, an Italian from America, from Sporting Kansas City. I think who's one of their highest transfer fees, by the way. And then people forget they brought in Mattia Caldara from AC Milan on loan. I love this team. Could not be. I hope you're right. I hope they win.
The ambition's great. It's like a manager mode when you just get promoted and you're like, all right, I'm gonna go all out to try to like get top 4.
Absolutely.
To try to absolutely smash expectation. Could fall right on their face, but I love the effort for going for it rather than just saying, I mean, 10 years down the road, let's try to be like a mid-table and like say, I mean, it's probably a smart idea, but I love just the first year. You're like, all right, let's go for it. So yeah, I mean, I have them staying up, so that's not. But I guess I put them high every year. It's Fiorentina. I feel like they always have something or some like their Vlahovic is just unreal. Like he's been linked everywhere. You see him in preseason, he's bagging goals left and right. I feel like they always have some sort of exciting something going on. I don't even know who their coach is anymore.
They have
Gattuso
a
was
great
there for
coach.
what, a day?
What was that, Paul?
They have a great coach, actually.
Gattuso was there for a day. Is that correct?
Maybe a week. They have Vincenzo Italiano, who's supposed to be one of the best like up and coming coaches. He coached Spezia last year.
Yeah, I feel like just players want to go there. Like, I mean, it's a great city from what I've heard. Haven't been there yet, but yeah, I just feel like they always get. So I have them at 9. I always have them top half. I think
they're always supposed to do well. Over the past few years, they just fell a little
right.
short.
Yeah, it's like last year I had them probably high. I forget where they had them, but and they always like relegation battle and then late just like win a couple games to stay up.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of my Eagles.
They actually they broke their transfer record this window too. They spent 25 mil on some guy, Nicholas Gonzalez from Stuttgart.
Interesting. Good.
Just,
All right.
23-year-old winger.
Yeah, I got them at 9, and Vlahovic's new transfer value is 100 million according to them. So I don't think he's leaving this year, even though a lot of teams want him.
Yeah, and another American-owned team. I love Vlahovic. People forget he chipped Juventus on a penalty. He did a
True.
I'll never forget that.
Yep.
And then he did my Earcelli. He's a beautiful.
I think that one. I think that was one of the viral tweets way back when.
Absolutely. That was a 6:30 a.m. game that I watched.
Getting riled up at 6:30. It's so back.
It's awesome. I can't wait for it.
Who's the 6:30 game?
Yeah, they're an hour ahead too. So
nothing. I don't think they have any scheduled of opening couple weekends, to be honest.
Right, because England's are 7:30, and then
7:30.
Italy's are 6:30.
Yeah, I'm gonna check.
And then when daylight savings hits us, it gets even weirder.
I love that. It's the 6:30. Yeah, it's something I look forward to every Sunday morning. It's always Sunday, 6:30 a.m.
Yeah, I mean that's a staple of this podcast, pointing out the 6:30 a.m. snooze fest that you got to wake up for.
Oh, it's the best thing. But now that you have teams like Venezia, it makes waking up even more better. Because even like now, Venezia gets a round of playing. So like that's just another team that I'm gonna want to wake up and watch. So
yeah, on top of the American owners we mentioned, I think Spal recently bought by an American owner.
Oh.
And there's another team in Italy, forget the name, but ready to be bought by another American owner. So I don't know what's going on over there in Italy.
Buying low.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
there's some good value over there.
Yeah, I think it was a Serie B team that's going to be bought. So keep an eye out for that. But yeah, the amount of American owners is growing over there.
I love the value.
You got any shock teams winning or doing well this year, Paul? Or slipping? Maybe you have a team slipping.
Shock team winning. I will say that I love, as long as they can, I will always, they have the Everton factor, but I love Torino. Just off the fact that Ivan Juric is a psychopath and he is very good and fits what Torino is. He's like a baggies, like where it's just long throw-ins, corners, step on ankles, like do whatever you can for a 1-0 result, and that embodies Torino perfectly. And I think if they can keep Gallo, I think they can get a top half finish. I really do. Just based off their manager.
Gallo talks have really died down a little bit. So yeah, I think they had some good pieces. They still got Zaza, Sirigu. I don't know. I'm listing off guys that I remember.
Sirigu's gone, actually. I won't lie to you. Genoa.
Yes.
Genoa. Damn. But yeah, they struggled last year, but that was a team we always monitored, and they would just grind out results. So maybe with this, maybe they'll turn those into victories, and then I mean, if they turn their draws into wins,
that was their whole thing last year.
Literally, I think that was our bet. Our bet every week was Torino to draw, and they drew like 8 games in a row. It was insane. So
I think they got it with this guy, though.
They're a top half team.
Yeah, I think keeping Gallo was huge for them. I mean, I have them 14, but I don't have them doing super well. But they're staying up, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They're a solid Serie A team, even though last year they were struggling pretty bad at one point. But I guess for my relegation teams, I'd say there's no real shock here. I think most of these teams are projected to be low or relegated. I do like this team, but I do have them being relegated. Spezia at 18. And it's your time to go. That's all I gotta say. Lost your coach, and just not that great. 19. This was tough, but Salernitana. I'll say it all the way out, not Salerno. Salernitana. You got the seahorse on the badge. I like the colors. I like the logo. I like everything about you, but you're not that great, and you're going down. I forget what game I was watching preseason. They were playing some Premier League team. Can't remember off the top of my head, but they were winning at one point, and then they ended up getting pummeled. I think like 4-1 or something. I had hopes, and then they were all crushed at once. So they're at 19 for me. And then last is Empoli. I think Paul pointed out before the podcast that Cutrone is on loan there, but that's just not enough for me, and I'll buy into the prediction that they'll be relegated this year and sent back to Serie B.
I like all those predictions, aside from the Seahorses.
Yep.
Seahorses, I like you said, great colors. We're Southern. We lean Southern. I know we always talk about they have more Northern clubs, but if there's Southern clubs that come up, we always root for them. Poor Lecce, gone, but not
They'll be
gone.
back.
Maybe they'll be back. We had Benevento, gone.
They'll be back.
Historically, the Southern clubs don't do well.
Palermo sent to Serie D a couple seasons ago.
Palermo is somewhere. They're still professional, I think.
They'll be back.
But so yeah, we always root for the Southern club, so I hope they make it. I have them just outside. I have them at 17, so I hope they stay up. Seahorse is fire mascot. 18, I agree with you, Spezia. I think I had them 19 or 20 last year. They really shocked us last year. So I just think it's a one season wonder. Blades effect. They're going down. They'll be in Serie C soon. You never know. Those things teams tumble. They lose one season and financially just go down.
I think you should watch Italy more, Steve, like Serie A, because the fact that a team can just crumble like that is hilarious. It doesn't happen in England.
No, it doesn't. I'm saying, yeah, exactly. I could say that about England. It was like, but
aside from I think Sunderland was like the anomaly of that, but aside from them, like I don't know, those small clubs have too much money to go down.
Yeah, it happens because if you get like one season, even in the even getting relegated from EPL, you get a decent like amount of money.
If you're back and forth season after season, you're making a ton of money.
But I could just see like an Italian club getting relegated, then they try to do some sketchy business on the side,
it's
and
awesome.
Big fine, sent to Serie C,
transfer ban. It just snowball effect. Like
no. You're absolutely right. If you go down, there's a real chance you may never come back up.
Yeah, exactly. Like we might never see Spal ever again.
Exactly. I don't think we will.
It was fun while it lasted. 19 Empoli. I don't know. I don't even know where they located. I like to base it off location too.
I think they're in the north.
They look like their mascot. They look like a snowflake, kind of weak. So yeah, I don't know much about Empoli, but they're going down. And then 20, because of fuck beef, the Udines, 20, dead last. They were in a relegation battle beginning of the season, much like Beef's Arsenal, when they picked it up. They lost to Paul. Oh, yeah, we forgot to mention Malanga DePaul.
No, they didn't.
No, he went to Atletico.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah.
Damn. But either way,
I got to Paul.
That's what I was gonna say. Wasn't that the thing for like a huge?
Yeah,
that was supposed to happen.
Yeah. So, but yeah, either way, Udinese does not have them, and they don't have their keeper. So I don't know who they have. They still have a bunch of Watford guys. Okaka. They have who's that other guy that used to be good? Spanish guy, De La Feo.
Oh, right.
He's there. And then they had that one other guy, Pereira. Basically a bunch of Watford guys. So, yeah, they're going down. They're going to be coming in dead last.
Love it.
I don't hate that take. Maybe not dead last, but I think that Verona and Udinese are going to be in a relegation battle all year long.
Wow. Verona has been 2 years in a row consistently like top half, right?
Yeah. Their coach just went to Torino.
That's kind of one of those things. Like is that a downgrade, sideways step? Like I feel like Verona's been making strides.
That was one of the weirder things because like he had a project going and then he went to like a sideways Like I think Verona was, if not better, I think they might have been better than Torino in recent years.
Right.
Torino has like that West Ham effect where they used to be good and they're just stagnant. Now that West Ham's good, but or like were good, but I guess I don't know. It was a weird move by him, but Verona got Di Francesco, who almost relegated Cagliari last season, who like brought Roma to the dust, like is a known loser. So, so I'm pretty sure he got another big job after Roma and after Cagliari and got sacked almost immediately. So I do think they're going to go down or going to be fighting for him. And then I also think Udinese lost too many people, but I don't think they get relegated. I think, unfortunately, at 20, I'm gonna go 20, 19, 18. Unfortunately, Salerno's like whole team is worth 30 million, even with Serie. Like 30 million flat. I don't think they have a shot now.
I love it. It's like a team that barely made it to Serie A, and it's like, oh shit, we're in Serie A now. We have to play Juve.
The
Yeah.
fans are nuts. I won't lie. The fans are nuts. They're crazy, like so passionate. But talk about old Serie A, where like that stadium's probably a dump. Like they have not updated anything. They brought like only Simi will be brought in. Bad, yeah, 20th. They might get a couple shit pumps versus Juve in the big clubs. Absolutely. I'm gonna go 19. I'm gonna go
Napoli
Spezia.
big.
I'm gonna go Spezia at 19. Thiago Motta. People forget Thiago Motta is the manager of Spezia right now. Also managed Genoa, I believe, and did horrible with them. Almost got them relegated as a caretaker manager. Spezia's losing Pogba, their midfielder who was on loan from Milan, who might be going to Udinese actually. I don't know, which would kind of stink. But yeah, I have them at 19. Also, great fan base. Their Northern club, great, great. If they can fill a stadium this year, I think that's more like they have a cool EPL stadium where the fans are right on top. That'd be a good one to watch. At 17,
18.
18, yeah. My last relegated team.
Make it the
I'm gonna,
snowflakes. Do it the
I'll-
snowflakes.
I'm gonna go with a semi-southern, and it's gonna be Empoli's a really easy pick here. It really is. But I'm not going to be an easy pick guy. I'm going to go with Cagliari. Losing Roger Nainggolan, Leonardo Semplici, I think he brought them barely above last year. Pretty gritty, but they're losing, I think, a world-class midfielder that they've ever had. And they really haven't brought anybody in. They're not really doing anything. I think they get that last spot. Empoli would be hilarious. I think they're going to get relegated, but I don't know. Cagliari also kind of stinks.
And none of us has Venezia.
No, couldn't do them.
You know, a little biased. I just read on the Venezia trade.
I'll say, according to this unnamed source, Empoli, Venezia, and Salerno will be relegated. Is that just the 3 newly promoted
Yeah.
teams?
Every statistic has that. They have nothing to base it off of, so it's just like, we'll just.
That's just logically that's the teams you're gonna put there.
Yeah.
For some fact checks, yes, DePaul did go to Atletico, just to confirm that.
Yeah, I was convinced he went to Milan, and I'm just like, wait a second.
And then
did he? And he did.
And then the other piece was, where is Empoli? It is apparently located just west of Florence, so maybe there's a little rivalry there, maybe a little derby. I'm not sure the background, but it's very, very close to Fiorentina. So we'll see what happens.
There we go.
Come game time when they match up.
Technically north, right? Where is Rome the cutoff, right?
That's central. Rome is like central.
Pretty north.
Okay.
Definitely north.
So yeah, Rome's the cutoff. Yeah. Gotta give the southern teams love.
Absolutely give the southern teams
love. But they make some noise. Benevento, what are they, the witches?
Yeah, Strega.
And I mean, Salerno is very, very close to Napoli. Is there anything going on there? Any derbies?
I think they don't like each other. I don't know. I think that's a bunch of baloney. It really shouldn't matter. I think it's a vacation spot for people from Naples.
Yep.
But
maybe they'll chant that.
Dude, I'm looking at Cagliari's lineup, and they have nobody in attack, like 0 people.
What about João Pedro?
Joe Petto.
Is he still, I don't know if he's still on the team unless I'm looking at.
No, if he's not
Oh,
on the team, they have zero chance.
Yeah, that would be a very tough hit if they lost him.
If they don't have him, they might be in dead last because he was just unreal, and
I'm looking at
kept
transfers.
afloat.
I'm being a mush.
He kept that team afloat last
Carry
year,
on.
and they're an island team. It's kind of cool.
I do like them being an island team.
I think I've just been
No, yeah, he's still on Cagliari.
I think I've just maneuvered my way to Serie A. Just don't even pay attention to players or statistics. It's just location and mascot.
That's what I like.
Maybe I'll move to colors too.
That's the best part about them.
Like Venezia, actually, they have sick jerseys. What are they, like, black and gold?
It's like black, orange, and green.
Like an LAFC. Wow, that's.
Steve, I want you on the
I'll
Serie
see.
A train this year. And they're going to be on CBS too.
They got some. They're doing that. They're kind of following suit with EPL, where they're having a lot of games at the same times now. I kind of like the 6:30, like 9. They had like
It's usually one early game, a bunch of 10 o'clock.
they split them out. Yeah.
I hope that's a 2-weekend thing.
Like separately, yeah.
Once Europe gets into play, that's usually when they start messing around with those times.
Yeah, then the Wednesday games start flying, all that stuff.
I love a 6:30 a.m. Sunday game. I really do. And it leads you right into 9 a.m. It's a tradition like no other.
It's got to be like a third party game. You watching Napoli at 6:30 just gets it's a sweat fest.
It is a sweat.
You're like, I gotta take a shower after this.
I feel like it's usually those smaller clubs anyway.
Yeah, usually. Yeah, I don't.
It's never like Juve, Napoli. They get prime time.
Because over there, what is that, like at 3 o'clock or 2? That's like an afternoon.
Is it afternoon? Like 12:30?
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's only 6 hours. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
like an afternoon
Like
game.
if Juve Napoli's playing, they get prime time. Like
They
they're
have
gonna
2:45. Yeah.
8 o'clock or something.
Right.
But I will say, we have Serie A games this weekend. I don't know if we want to do like a quick fire segment on it, or do you want to still touch on like Golden Boot or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
they
think
do play this weekend. That's why we're giving these predictions. I guess quickly talk about a couple bets. This is not Serie A, but Spoots taking CP Brentford over. I think it's a good bet, right?
I think it's gonna be one of those things where he hit it once, and if it hits this one, I don't think he's not gonna bet it for the rest of the year. He's like, I'm just gonna ride it throughout, and it's not a bad bet. Brentford looked good.
Yep.
They looked good offensively. They beat shitbum Arsenal. So they put 2 past them. My Eagles don't look capable of scoring anytime soon.
But Brentford could be a team to score against. Arsenal had no offense, so
Right. So I mean, I expect my Eagles to at least get 1 at home.
Yeah.
And Brentford. So I'm seeing like the whole thing is for our gambling friend, it's a great line plus money. I could see this being a 1-1 draw. Just my 2 cents there, because CP I think hopefully will play their strongest lineup. You buy a guy for 25 million as a center back and have him come on in the second half. Just a wild managerial move. Starting off hot for my guy, Patrick Vieira, Paul's guy. Loves him. Yeah, so if he puts out a lineup that is an interesting lineup, then it could get ugly. Making center back changes in the 60th minute. It's kind of a wild, I don't know, weird move, but not a bad bet. I like it.
Solid bet. And I have a recording from last podcast that we all did on the Premier League, specifically about CP Brentford. So I'll be posting that.
Was I a part of this or beef with?
It was Paul's rant, and you added on to it. It was like his last piece on CP Brentford.
I think it was.
It's
That
like a gut check. You guys were talking about gut
yeah,
check.
because no one expected us to win Chelsea, and I believe I said that a draw would be an okay result because they're still figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
Now it's even better result because Brentford had a good result.
Yeah, you'll hear it. So keep an eye out for that. And then he has not picked a Golden Boot winner or league winner. I mean, we'll see if he does. Keep an eye out for that. Time's ticking, Spoots. But Juve is favored to win the league, followed by Inter at plus 300 and Atalanta plus 550. Yeah, we talked about it. We talked about our winners. We'll see what he picks, but we just wanted to throw that stuff out there. But otherwise, yeah, Serie A games are coming up this weekend. And what games do we got, Paul?
I think this was honestly the best opening weekend for just the big clubs, to be honest. There's no real like big game to watch. I think the big game would be Roma Fiorentina Sunday 2:45, but other than that, like the kind of cakewalks. I didn't know Venezia's playing Napoli, which is a shame on me. Venezia's plus 1100. Um,
Yeah, I was. You were saying. I think you texted him like, "Yeah, you ready for the Venezia game?" And he's like, "Oh, Paul's like, I can't wait." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Wait, does he know they're playing Napoli?"
I'll be quite honest with you guys, and I'll even say this with Beef Not on the podcast. I've been such in a daze from Italy winning the Euros that I really haven't thought of the Serie A season too much. I won't lie to you.
It really did sneak up on us. The Premier League, I was kind of ready for, but yeah, now Italy's ready to play, and it's exciting. I'll say both these teams are in good form. Both haven't been beaten in the past 5 games, according to ESPN. 3 wins and 2 draws for each of them. So, I mean, looking good. Off the top of my head, this is total bullshitting, but I don't see Venezia as a pack-it-in type of team. I think they're going to be playing to win and playing to score. Are they capable of it? I don't know.
I think we should give a little tip to Spoots. I think that whatever this over is gonna hit by 1,000,000.
Over 3.5. That's a tough one.
While I do lean Napoli here, I do think they get the win. I don't think, this isn't a team that Venezia is going to get a win against. They really just got to do well against the other teams. But I could see them getting a draw. You never know.
Like, I think Napoli's just gonna put a ton past them, and Venezia's gonna get like 1, maybe 2.
Yeah,
just like
it could be an over.
Shit, like random goals. So,
We'll have to check. We'll have to check.
I also like, dude. I don't know, Bologna Salerno draw. I'd love to bet that.
Paul's the most random better than a random mid to low level draw is hilarious.
I have no clue what Salerno is going to bring out to the table, but I know that Bologna stinks going forward, so I think that's a nice draw. Udinese Juve, talk about a ship pumping alert early on.
Yep.
I think that might hit 4 or 5 for Juve.
Yeah, I'd say probably over in that one as well. And not a great game for Udinese to come back to. I think Juventus is on a revenge tour this year, hence why I have them winning. And yeah, definitely leaning Juventus there.
Go ahead, Steve.
I was gonna say I think based off just like last year's results that people could be looking forward to is that one of the first games, Verona Sassuolo, 2 teams that finished above top 10.
Good pack.
Sassuolo was kind of almost a late push. They're a little bit behind Lazio for a Europa spot, but keeping a lot of their guys. Who knows if Boga will be playing? He was surrounded transfer with no news, but should be playing. Still Berardi. I just ask if they still have guys and hoping you guys tell me.
Yeah.
You're doing well. They're doing great.
They have Berardi, now lost Locatelli.
Same team, I think. Just lost
Caputo.
Just lost Locatelli.
He's still there?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, same squad. Always been strong. So in Verona, even though Paul mentioned their coach is now done, but just based off last year's, people might be looking forward to this game. You never know.
Yeah, and they do have a nice young Italian that his name's slipping my brain going forward. That's supposed to be the next big thing. I don't know why his name's slipping. That's a shame on me. That's a minus one.
I think I remember you mentioning him last year too.
Why is he slipping my name? Horrible. I need to look this up.
Well, they got Kevin Lasagna still, but Matteo Cancelleri. Is that the man you were looking for?
Oh, this is bad. I'm being bad.
Matteo
Raspadori.
Oh, right. He was on the national team.
Yeah, he was like the last guy in.
Wait, for which team?
I was talking Sassuolo.
Okay. I was looking at the Verona squad.
But yeah, that'll be a good game. I think if Sassuolo might be plus 165. If Sassuolo is plus money, I think you take them every day of the week.
Yeah, I think they're a solid team. They lost Locatelli. Yeah, that's a big hit, but they still got, like we said, Berardi, Boga, Caputo.
So yeah, we got some good picks for our bet. Let's see if he listens or he listens to that other schmuck.
Atalanta Torino sneaky game.
Grimsby, Arsenal money line, baby. Shout out our guy Grimsby. AJ Grimsby.
Oh, we have some Monday night action too.
Yeah, I believe there's both Serie A and Premier League Monday games.
Oh, that's awesome. No, Spezia, Cagliari, maybe. Milan, Samp, not great. And a Friday night game. Wow, Serie A is awesome. Venezia, Udinese, Friday,
Well,
August 27th.
I think it's like we said because they spread out the games, so they like have to force a game into Monday and Friday.
I like
I
that
love
though.
that.
It's like how football introduced TNFs. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, why not just have
Yeah.
a value game on Friday?
Always a Friday game, always a Monday
Like,
game, and then you leave
what-
less. You can spread out the games on Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, like why would you jam another game on a Saturday when there's people on Friday that are clearly gonna watch it if it's the only thing on?
Yeah,
Like,
you lose views.
yeah. So I think they should just spread it out and have one game per day.
I
Yeah.
love
What do you-
All year long.
Yeah.
2 per day. No, because there's 20. There'd be 10.
Yeah,
games.
yeah, or
Two
whatever
per
it
day.
is, but you get it each day, so it's like you get views each day. Well, why would you just have them jammed in one day?
That's my
Different
same
times,
theory,
too.
but
Think about it,
like
like-
on. No, that's my same theory, but on like to an extent of what times games were played. I think you mentioned it earlier. Like I love like a 6:30 to a 9. From 9 you get to the noon game. From the noon game you get to the 2:45 game.
Yeah.
I don't like it all played at once. That's just my 2 cents.
I also just thought about it in my head, and that doesn't make any sense because teams would play like on a Monday.
Yeah,
Makes
and,
no
like,
sense.
The next game would have to be like a week. That'd
Yeah.
be a scheduling nightmare. So
Yeah.
scratch whatever I said.
If you think
Makes
yeah.
good sense money wise, but
if you
Yeah.
think that there's a lot of complaining about rest time and too many games now, then that Steve's
someone would die.
proposal there would be awful.
Forget I said that. It's good in theory. If everyone's just robots, it doesn't get hurt.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, that's predictions and the upcoming games on the weekend. Hopefully next week we'll do a recap like we did for the Premier League yesterday of the games, or previewing the games like we usually do. But I mean, I haven't even posted the Premier League one yet, so keep an eye out for that as well. But yeah, if you like this, follow us on Twitter. Paul has finally been granted access. Again, he finally got logged in. Beef has been granted access, and
I refuse access.
Steve is lives under a rock and does not participate in the devil's nectar of social media.
That's right.
Good on him.
Despite this
Smart
is
man.
somewhat social media,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but I mean, you just give your opinions.
I just show up and say
Exactly.
whatever.
So yeah, if you like all that and you want to see some pictures and some cool tweets, that's at the Tutoposto on Instagram and Twitter. YouTube will be firing off all these videos. I'm going to be posting the videos again, so we have a backlog of the videos because they disappear on the podcast. But yeah, listen on Spotify and iTunes, and we also have a fantasy football show. So if you like fantasy football, check that out too. But
Is this the new norm now? There's a Serie A and EPL, so we'll never. I can just come on to this one and never have to deal with beef again.
you can choose whatever one you want, and if
I-
it happens to be scheduling around which one's beef picks, that's on you.
I mean,
I'm very okay not talking
all,
about the
all of
EPL.
beef never be in a podcast ever again. It'll just
Yeah,
be-
I mean that's the way it is. Paul is our Serie A expert, Napoli fan, Serie A expert. Beef, more of a EPL expert and Arsenal fan. While he does pay attention a little bit to Serie A, even he would admit he really doesn't have the knowledge that Paul has. He could grow on that. You never know. I'd say I have my toes dipped in both leagues a little bit. I'd say I think I know Premier League a little bit better, but I like to really keep it diversified. Steve, I'd say same thing, but leaning Premier League probably.
I definitely watch way more Premier League. Serie A just is always tough to get to for me. It's like
It's too
It's-
much. There's
it's
too
on
much
ES
soccer.
It's on ESPN Plus. And
Yeah.
You got to sign in. I don't have a sign in. Just tough to get to. And then
Yeah.
it's like by the time I'm already watching an EPL game. But I'll say I am a Serie A, not an enthusiast, but I want Paul wants to bring me to the dark side. He's got that look in his eye.
I think
He keeps on jabbing at me. He's like, Serie A.
He
There could be-
feels like you'd be a good fit.
He's like,
No,
there
I-
could be
I
some
know that
controversy.
you're a fan.
I'll blow it up.
we're the same people, Steve, when it comes to this. I know you love these hilarious storylines that comes out of Italy. We're not as polished as the EPL. EPL is very polished. Like you
I
get
love-
players fighting on the field in Serie A.
Like interviews and like the manager and like fights. Sarri smoking cigs.
Cigs.
It's awesome.
It's
I just
Rodrigo
wanna be
De
able
Paul
to watch
slapped
them.
the ref, didn't he? Oh, who
What?
was that? Didn't a
Yeah.
Serie A player slap the ref last season?
Player didn't. I think it
Oh
was,
yeah, that was hilarious.
I think it was a pretty
Remember that?
notable player.
Oh, that was.
Was it DePaul?
Yeah, it was
I'm
DePaul.
almost.
DePaul slapped the
Yeah,
guy.
I think it was DePaul.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, he slapped either a guy or the referee.
Yeah.
I know we're running down, but I want to bring back one slap per game.
So that was your take afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's still my.
I
take.
like that jersey take. That was probably the best one you've had. The one you can just burn it. You buy it just to burn it.
I have good takes occasionally, but
It's just like just when your club does something stupid, you have a good burn jersey.
it's true.
You either got a shirt or, in this case, it happens to be a jersey that Puma put out.
Can be
Like, how awesome would
Yeah.
an Inter fan feel after they sold Hakimi Lukaku? He's like, yeah, get that 2021 jersey and just burn it.
Yeah. You buy it for a discount when the websites put it up for cheap.
Yeah.
Then-
Love,
then
that was a
just burn
good
it.
one.
Oh, all right. Gut check time for my Eagles. Go Eagles. Beat
Big-
Bradford.
Big one.
Yep. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.